But if you have used condition clothing,
I don't think a promoted listing is going to bump that up because it is condition based.
what's up guys? So today we are putting an end to promoted listings. We're gonna boycott promoted listings. I'm starting the charge now. I'm gonna pull my sales and I'm gonna get more into why we're gonna not promote listings and why I'm able to make sales and people wonder like why they can't make sales. And part of the reason why is because of this little thing that I've been doing. Also because, well, I find items that typically sell. So that is a big part of it too. We have 18 items to pack up. It's $458 in sales. We're going to start pulling them. I'm going to tell you about a few of them. Let's start pulling them. Okay, perfect. 167.44. Great example here. This is a pair of jeans. This is by the brand Page. Page is a pretty good brand of jeans. It's kind of a thinner material, so with the men's Page jeans, which do sell better than the women's from my experience, they can be a bit thin, so sometimes they wear out. Now, this is 167.44, 16,744. Our eBay inventory is vast. It is over 5,000 items. The oldest item is in the very top corner here that's been listed. It's been listed for this many days, I'm not really sure. It snakes around and then we got all the way to here. Now, this pair of jeans has been sitting in my store for a number of months and it's still sold for $20 plus $8.99 shipping. You know, typically jeans I'm paying between $5 and $8. Not quite sure exactly how much I paid for this one, but it's a profitable sale. Now, how long did it take for me to sell this? It took a while, you know, and had I promoted listings, would it sell faster? I don't think so. And the reason I say that is because I had it priced most likely at $29.99 plus shipping, and over the months it has slowly reduced in price, and that's exactly what I want to talk to you about in this video. I have a markdown strategy that is a little different. I mean, I've heard other people talk about it that are very successful. A friend of mine that's very successful told me about it, and I kind of want to share that with you, but I just want to get into your head that this item lasted in my store for a very long time before it sold, but it still made a good profit. And whenever you have so many items that you listed 6 months, a year ago, they sell today, and then some items I listed last week sold today as well. I don't think items sell faster because of eBay promoted listings. I think they sell faster because of the price. As we get to this part of the inventory, these are the items that I've listed more recently. This is an Ariat. Ariat is a Western brand. It's a long sleeve button shirt. This is just a basic maroon shirt, but it did sell for $18.04 plus $8.99 shipping. I charge $8.99 shipping on all items. It ensures that I profit on the shipping as well as I'm not losing money on the shipping. Now, some people say, well, why are you taking advantage of your customer with the shipping? In my opinion, the buyer's paying a total amount for the order, whether that be the item cost or the shipping. It doesn't make much difference to me because he's getting the shirt pretty cheap. Like if the shipping was $5, then I just would have charged more dollars. So it would have sold for $22 plus, you know, what, $4.99 shipping rather than the $8.99 shipping. So to me, it doesn't really make much difference. I mean, a lot of people kind of get into the weeds about the shipping and all this stuff, but whenever I'm buying the item and selling the item and pricing the item, I know that I have $9 built in with the shipping so that no matter what, when I'm sourcing, I think, okay, this shirt is $5. It's probably going to cost $5 to ship, so you're down $10 right off the rip. So what does it need to sell for to make enough profit when you're all in at $10? And that doesn't include the fees as well, which, you know, the selling fees is what, 13%? So let's just think about it like this. You see this shirt on the rack for $5. You know you're going to spend $5 to ship. What total price do you need to sell it for? So you can imagine, okay, let's say I sell it for $20. I have my $8.99 shipping. Let's just call it $29. Then you take $29 and you subtract 10. You're down to $19. And then you got to take your 13% off of the $29. So I kind of just do 10. So let's just say $2. So then you're down from 19 minus the $2, $17. That's pretty much it. So at $5, that's your profit. Then you can kind of say, okay, well, that'd be a pretty good sale, 20 plus shipping. This one went for 18. Let's just say it went for $10 plus shipping. So now you're at $19 as your top line. And then you subtract 10 because it was 5 for the buy cost, 5 for the label. So now you're down to $9. And then you got to subtract the, let's just say 10% off of the 19. So that's what, $1.90, so $2. Anyway, so it gets on down to like, okay, that's not a lot of money, but that is still a profitable sale. It's not a loss. And, you know, ideally, I think for this shirt, worst case scenario would be 15 plus shipping. That would put me at, was it $23.99? So let's say $24. Subtract your 10, you're at 14. Subtract your selling fees, then you're down again from 14 to, let's say, like, I don't know, 10. So that, yeah, so that's pretty much where you're at, $10 profit. But this one made a little bit more, and it's like a very long way to explain like how I see items in the store, why I do the shipping the way I do it. The big thing is like over time, you got to understand maybe you want to get 20 plus shipping on that shirt, so you're going to stick at that mark forever. Well, guess what? That may never sell at that price. A couple reasons for this are buyers don't like to pay full price on eBay. They see eBay as a secondary market for goods. They see it as a way that they can haggle, they can send low offers. I mean, you guys have all seen them before. If you've sold for any amount of time, people will lowball you $1 just because they want to feel like they won. So the way that I combat that is every month I shave off the price of items that are, you know, older in my store. So then over time, I mean, theoretically, they get all the way down to like $1 plus shipping, which would still be $10, but that gets the item moving through my store, and most of the time, they move through the store. And also, I have people buy multiple items that are at that low price, and those most likely are like flea market people or have their own stores, or maybe they're some sort of reseller themselves. Those types of people come back to my store over and over again because they know that the prices will constantly go down. That's kind of how I do it, but I'm going to show you in more detail when we get back to the office. I'm going to finish pulling these items, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more. So I'm about halfway through packing all the items for today, and I wanted to talk about this marine layer just so I didn't forget it. Now, I put a couple videos out about different brands people should look out for, you know, ones you may not have heard of. Marine layer is definitely in that list. This is a long sleeve like hooded shirt. It sold for $22 plus $8.99 shipping, so that's what, $31.99. Very solid pickup. Marine layer has a pretty basic tag. It's very small print, if I remember correctly, and I usually sell it. I don't find it very often, but it does sell. Now, as always, packing up bags, we like to use colored poly mailers. And that's because our sponsor of today's video is Jiaropack. Jiaropack, they bring colored poly mailers. They have all the different sizes you can imagine. They also have a good selection of bubble mailers if you guys are into using bubble mailers. The reason I like Jiaropack is because when you go to the post office and you drop off 10 colored poly like packages, or 20 or 50 or 100, however many you're doing, they absolutely stick out in the post office. The post office to me is kind of like a sterile place. It's very clean. It's very like white and gray. And then they see a pop of color like your Jiaropack poly bags, you're going to be able to have them stick out, and the post office will absolutely remember who you are. So use the code Taylor10. You get 10% off your first purchase. Some people were saying they were still able to get the 10%, but Jiaropack had told me you can only get it on the first purchase, but they are a pretty fair price even without the 10% off, and you get to pick from a bunch of different colors. So Jiaropack, appreciate you for sponsoring this video. All right, we just finished up shipping, and I wanted to show you this. This is my screen, the sales. I have $196,983 in sales this year. This is almost to the end of the year. We have about 3 weeks left. I just want to show you that just because, what I'm saying, it does work, but I do want to remind you that I've been at this for a number of years, and also I'm not going to profit anywhere close to that amount. I'm not even going to profit over $100,000. I'm not a six-figure reseller. I have sold over six figures, but I don't profit six figures. I'll make probably 27 to like 30% of that. And I also have expenses because I have a part-time worker who works, about 10 hours a week. So yeah, it's, I don't know, it could be misleading to some, but that's just kind of how it goes. And I want to be very transparent so that you don't get your hopes up. And when you see people showing like their total sales, you never know what their expenses are. And a lot of times they kind of leave that stuff out. But I'm going to make a breakdown of like my yearly profit for eBay. And I may include like my social media and other things like that. But let's just get going. I wanted to, show you guys this little method I've been doing, and we'll just go straight to it. So the first thing you want to do is open up two tabs. You want to open up a tab that has your active listings. So you go to listings active, and that brings you to this page. This shows 5,111 items for $80,245. That's my total store. And then you see the quantity is a little higher. That's because I have a multi-quantity listing of a bunch of Wrangler Pearl Snap shirts. So what you want to do is you want to change the start date, and you may have to add this in. So you can go to customize table and you can add in like start date. This shows you how long the item has been listed like freshly on your page. Now, my oldest start date is only 1 month. And whenever you switch it the other way, it's going to show like less than a day. That's because those were listed today. But the thing about it is, every single day that I list items, I go to this and I sort to the oldest items, and then I select a certain number of items, and then I run this little discount. So what you would do is you select an item, and it's pretty much like delist, relist, but instead of delisting and relisting, you're actually going to just end the listing and you're going to sell similar. So you end the listing, and then the next window you want to have open is your unsold. And the reason I like to have two open, because it does get confusing. eBay kind of makes it dummy proof so you can't accidentally mess up. But what you can end up doing is like forgetting that you need to delete this after you relist it, because it'll stay in the unsold area. So what you're going to do is, now that this is here, this is unsold, so it's basically off of your store. You're going to click on it and you're going to go to sell similar. And when you do sell similar, it's going to ask you, what do you want to do to this? So this has a stain on it. Some items I pick up have stains, and that's probably why it hasn't sold. And what you can do is you can reduce the price. So because it's at $9.54, I'll reduce it to $8.99. So it's just slightly taken off a little bit, and then you can just list the item. So now that's going to bring up like a new listing because it has a new price, and that should help. Now what you have to do though in the unsold section is you're going to want to like highlight, go to actions, and delete. But before you do that, make sure you go back over here. See how it's at 5,110? You want to refresh this page before you delete the item, because you don't want to accidentally not get it relisted properly and then delete it, because then you're just like taking items out of your store and completely deleting them without putting them back on your store. Now you can do more than one at a time. You can even do two at a time. So we'll go to actions and listing, and then we'll just show you one more time so that it's pretty clear. And that's in my active listings tab, and then I'm going to my unlisted tab. I'm going to refresh, and I should have the two here. So we go to actions, and we're going to delete. No, we don't delete. See how it can get kind of messy? So you go to actions and you go to sell similar. And let's see. So now we have two here. So you can do bulk edits as well. So select the two, and then you bulk edit. We can select all these different things. And you can do this if you want to change shipping on it. Maybe your shipping was too high and you want to like change up your whole store, or maybe you're increasing your shipping and you want to do it. This is a way you can do it fast. There's other ways you can do it, but what we're going to do on the bulk edit is we're going to do buy it now price. Now we select lower, and then we're going to want to lower by 5%, I think is the lowest you can lower something by. So apply that change. It'll apply the change to all the items that are selected, and then you'll be able to submit. So what this does is it means you can like have a kind of a daily sale on certain items, but it's your oldest items that haven't been moving. And then you're going to go back here and you're going to see, look, 5,109. That's because we had the 11 and took the 2 down. And then we refresh, we're back at 11. So then we're going to go to our unsold and make sure to delete this. You definitely want to do this, because it'll, if you tried to relist those, it'll say duplicate policy issue, and it won't let you relist it, but it can still get a little confusing. So kind of be wary when you do this. And then of course we have like our drafts. These are 15 that are ready to go, and these are fresh listings. And the way you know that is by like the custom SKU. So if you have the SKU order from oldest to newest, then you know like the newest SKUs are going to be newer items. So this is one method you can do to like do a progressive markdown. You can do this every day. You can do a percentage of your store. Ideally, you would divide by 30 of whatever number your store is, and then you do that one every single day. So that means every month your store is reducing down by a certain percentage, and that's going to give you it's going to give you a chance to sell those items without having to promote them, because every single month they're going down 5% until they get to that perfect sweet spot of where it sells. Now, why would I do this? Because one, I don't know like the perfect price to sell a used item. It's very condition based. It's very market based. I mean, this is a Patagonia Better sweater. It's black. It's a medium in my size. I would probably list this at like 50 plus shipping, but maybe the actual price it should sell for is 40 plus shipping. And I don't know that. Now, maybe a top end buyer would pay my 50 plus shipping and I'd be okay with that. What I've noticed from this little markdown sale is whenever I do like the relisting of the items, sometimes they sell, sometimes they don't. But what I do know is they get closer to like the actual market value. So don't waste the money, like promoting listings and having eBay shove an item that's probably overpriced, probably bad condition, probably something somebody doesn't want. Just go ahead and lower your price until it's at the point where the buyer can't really refuse it, because a lot of people are just buying, sorting low to high, and then they're just picking like the best one. And if you keep reducing your price even by a sliver, then yours are going to jump a spot when you do the low to high search results. So another thing to think of is like Amazon. A lot of bots on Amazon, they reduce the price by 1 penny. So if somebody posts a Amazon, like their own listing, they'll reduce it by like, $2, and then there'll be a bot that reduces it by 1 penny. There's a reason they do that. It's because they jump up in the rankings of these searches. So I hope this video was good for you guys. I know I talked a lot in it, but I wanted to hit a couple things. One, boycott. Let's boycott promoted listings. I mean, who needs them, right? I don't know. I'm sure it's good. I'm sure there are some sales that come from it, but I can tell you that I don't use them, and I sold almost $200,000 this year. I will sell $200,000 in a saturated market, which is clothing. And a lot of people think, when do you use promoted if the item's saturated? I think promoted would be best if you have brand new goods at a very low cost or low price or undesirable. But if you have used condition clothing, I don't think a promoted listing is going to bump that up because it is condition based. So anyway, take what you want from it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure Jiaropack 10% off. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you've heard of this technique, if you've heard it the way I talked about it, or if you're already doing it and you're still having problems. Because if you are, you probably don't have good items. That's the truth of the matter. You got to have good items to sell, and then you got to be willing to wait. Clothing is long tail. Like, some of my items take a year to sell. Some of them take a day to sell. So anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Later.